Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing Beastie Beatdown, which is a Gruul Delirium deck. I think we've played some Delirium decks in the past. This one looks new and interesting. If it sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the first of his name, Emperor of San Francisco, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. All right, so I'm broadcasting to you from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by Ludge123, something like that. He called it Beastie Beatdown, which is a name of a card in this deck. And I thought, well, maybe there's more beasties in here. And there's not a lot of beasties in here, just kind of one beast. And we got a bunch of stuff, but it's a Gruul deck. It does Gruulish stuff. And by taking a look at the cards in here, this is a Delirium deck. Looks like we're doing a lot of delirious kind of stuff. All right, so let's take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. All right, what do we got? We got Violent Urge, which is a creature pump. It gives it +1/+0 and first strike. That is an instant. If you got Delirium, then it does all that. Plus, it gains double strike. Double strike. And if you got something with trample on it, such as Balustrade Wurm, or I think this guy, the Wickerfolk, then it gets +1, first strike, and double strike. So that's all cool. This guy would be really good with double strike, right? So he'd be 6. That'd be like 12 points of damage you're dealing, and trample, and haste. Yeah, that is kick-ass. Plus, he's cheaper when coming back on the from the graveyard. So that's something you could do. We've got Patchwork Beastie. He is super slow. For an aggro deck, this guy is super slow. He comes out, he's the 3/3, but you can't attack or block with him. But at the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose to mill a card, which helps to basically get your Delirium spun up. So he's a Delirium engine. Cool thing is you can mix him together with Beastie Beatdown to be doing 3 points of damage to any other creature you choose to do, even if he's sitting there doing absolutely nothing. That's a trick we learned when we were using Patchwork, Topiary Stomper. Because that guy come out, he was like same thing, 3/3 for 1, but he couldn't attack until you had 7 cards in the graveyard or something. I forget what his deal was. You would just use him as a source for doing creature damage. All right, Seed Hope. Using this to basically go look for more lands because it's going to come out early, hopefully. You can use it later on to try to find creatures, that kind of cool stuff. Chainsaw, vroom, vroom. 3 points of damage to one target. Anytime something dies, you put a counter on it, and then you equipped it, and then that creature gets +X/+0, which is equal to the number of rev counters, which is equal to the number of creatures that have died since it's been out. And then you put that onto a trampler, and that's a truckload of damage. Fear of missing out, also known as FOMO. When you get up to Delirium, you get to pick a creature that gets attacked a second time in another combat phase, which then will trigger other combat phases like Urabrask Forge. Legion Extruder deals 2 bunch of damage when it comes out to any target. You could sacrifice another artifact creature or to create a 3/3 Golem artifact creature. So if you got a guy that's about to die, you could always just sacrifice it if it's an artifact. What is an artifact? Well, this guy's an artifact. This guy's an artifact. You're not an artifact. I think these the forgelings might be artifacts. Nope, they're not artifacts. Well, you have to look for things that are artifacts, right? Let's see. Beastie Beatdown. Target creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent controls. This guy's got haste as a 3/2. He'll get bigger if you got Delirium. This guy gets 1 point bigger every time he comes out. Once per turn, at the end of the turn, you sacrifice it. This guy, whenever you have Delirium, whenever he enters or attacks, then you get distribute 2/2/2 counters on 1 or 2 target creatures. If there are 6 or more, you double the number of popo counters on those creatures. So this guy will just start putting popo counters like crazy, but there's double delirium here. Enduring Courage will give any of your creatures haste and +2/+2 on the turn that it comes out. If it dies, it just becomes an enchantment that continues to pass out those abilities. Balustrade Wurm gets trample and haste, cannot be countered, and is a good target for a lot of great stuff that you got. And you can play it back from your graveyard, provided you got Delirium. We got a man land in here. Other than that, we got a bunch of dual lands and regular lands. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to get our guys out hard and fast, work towards getting that Delirium ramped up, just keep grinding them down as hard as we can. We do have the ability to play some guys from the graveyard. Choose to do so if you can. This guy's easier to play from the graveyard, except for if he dies, he will go and be exiled forever. Enduring Courage will give all you guys +2 in haste. So that's it. It's just aggro, aggro, aggro. We got some creature control and a couple of tricks in Violent Urge to hopefully, help get things through. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against Ludisto. Turn it off before it gets a chance to be a full-blooded, obnoxious goblin. The sleeper shall awaken. I could have put out 2 of these guys. But I did not play it that way, did I? I gotta get a bunch of crap into the graveyard. That'll help. Chainsaw's the one that you probably don't like. I can waste my Beastie Beatdown. All right, let's just do it. Get to it before it gets a chance to grow out of control. I need 5 mana for the worm. I only have 4. What are you going to go for straight up? You're just trying to bring him back? Cool, man. Not up to 4 yet. Got it. All right, go full after the worm next turn. It has haste. It has trample. It's got possess. That's why they called it the nanny. I need all my cards, so I shall decline. All right, you can put some Death Touch on him. No, I'm cool. I don't know anything else to go in there. Decline, decline. Oh, the humanity. That's it. All right, still got a Trample Hasty coming out next turn. That is great. And is this an instant? Yes, it is. Doesn't really matter. Rage! Come on. There we go. Boom, boom! Goes the room. Alright, we are playing again. Slash from Guns N' Roses. Keep. Alright, so the Patchwork Beastie is going to help us get our Delirium going. Gotta get some different things in our graveyard. Take that action. Wrong card. There we go. Multiple creatures in there is not the best for us. There's 3. Still nothing to do. These guys locked down like a topiary stomper. He's just to enter the battlefield guy. So he's in, he's done his damage. Everything at this point is stupid. If they try to bounce him, that would be bad. Still, Patchwork Beastie just sitting there doing nothing. Be good use for the beatdown. Oh, all in. I'm in good with Enduring Courage getting killed. I don't care, he's fine. If you strike him down, he will come back even stronger. Well, just as strong. That was 7 points to the face, baby cakes. We gotta get our Delirium big time, though. That's the problem. I don't think you're putting down any more lands. Well, maybe you are. It's a lot of guys. And we got full Delirium at this point. What shall we do? I don't think there's anything we can do, really. All right, if this doesn't win the game, then we're not going to win it. One more. See, my deal is I got to get double strike on the guy with trample, and I got to make him... That's cool. I just deal no damage there. Would that be fine? Looks like I don't have a choice in the matter. And it looks like we're going to win anyway. And we win! With tricks and horrible beefy action. Victory! Alright, we're playing against Feral Pog Hunter 74. A lot of things for 2. Alright. I'm surprised he doesn't have an instant for killing it. I mean, I could do that again. This guy's just trying to play black combos on us. All right, Seed of Hope will get us probably a mana. There's the 4. All right, don't do it, man. Don't block. It was totally a trick. Never gonna have 5 mana. All right, got a couple little beasties. You don't got enough to play him. That's good. I got to go nuts. I mean, the question is, can I kill him? I don't have any tricks. I need a double striker, essentially. All right, he's just going to kill the Patchwork Beastie. I'll pretend I got something tricky here, but he has to go for it. Oh, he goes the wrong way. All right, so he's got non-creature, non-land. That would be that card. He's got lifelink. That's not cool. All right, so he's got to top deck something cool right now. He's got to do it. All right, so even if I lose half my life this turn, it's no big deal. That's okay, I'm still coming at you, bro. Still, it's just with the 3, aren't I? Nice, you gave it haste. That would be super. He's down to 1. Still has to top deck something awesome. I don't care, whatever. There we go. You just gonna kill it? That would be bad. Nope, no killing involved. Boom! Goes the room. Victory! And I'm playing against Steph. Yeah. Steph. Yeah. Nope. Say no to dragons. Oof, their encourage is really good, but I need the mana this early on. That guy's a stupid jerk. I think he's just a mana elf. All right. Never untaps. Yep. All right, he's even more powerful. All right, let's FOMO. Val should be great, but I don't think we're going to get to him. We can do it that way. That'll work out great. All right, cool. We kill it. Kill something that has butt for 2. We could FOMO the Balustrade. There we go. All right, you want to block? No, you do not. I could sacrifice the Wickerfolk. To Legion Extruder. Two up top. Just popping it back to my hand. Good for you. Oh, I did that wrong big time. This guy's going full beef. Haste into Delirium. I don't know. Let's just go. There we go. We just win. Victory! All right, playing against Yuriy. I don't know why you need the I and the Y. I should have put out Patchwork. This is never, well, I have done well with that, I guess. All right, he's a good guy for getting Delirium going. Let's turn this off. Hoping for a third mana. There we go. We can go full score. Wow, Patchwork Beastie got himself Delirious quickly. All right, so FOMO would be super cool. We do both. That's what we get to do here, huh? All right, so FOMO next turn will get 2 Urabrask Forges out of the deal, or at least more than that. Now that's it for our poor friend. Pump. All right, next turn, we got him. We got him. Victory! All right, so we are with Beastie Beatdown, and it was an okay deck. Yeah, it ended up being just like a 50%er. All when I was done, got a 52%. It's all right playing. Here's my deal with this deck is that I started playing it, and I got like 5 wins in a row. I'm just like, oh, this is so great. Let's start recording it. And then a lot of decks get camera shy for some reason. So then it did poorly. I'm like, no, this deck is good. I know it. But as I ended up playing it like 21 times, it just barely ended up being a 50%er. So I probably wouldn't have come out with this deck if I had known what it was going to do in the long run. But it took a long time to find out that it wasn't going to be as great as my initial run went. So why did I like playing it though? I love the haste. I love the fact that we had a lot of early things going on. The big problem with this deck though, it depends entirely upon Delirium. And you need you guys to be hasty, and Patchwork Beastie is by far the least hasty guy out there. That's the thing I didn't like about Topiary Stomper when we used to play with that guy, because he is not hasty either. They come out and they can't attack or block until you got some other weird, stupid thing going on. Except for he helps to get to that situation. Even then, he's just a 3/3 when he's done. But yeah, Wild Wickerfolk, this guy is nuts. He's pretty super cool. Enduring Courage is pretty cool. This guy is awesome. You got a bunch of good, control cards in here for taking out other guys. Not super strong, but strong enough probably, since we're playing an aggro style deck. The problem is there's not a lot this deck doesn't do at the top end. I mean, you get up to the Balustrade Wurm, sure, he's a 5/5. Trample and haste, you get some damage in. You get to replay him again. But there's nothing big going on. You don't have a big dragons going on, no demons, no half people's lives, nothing like super pumps going on. I mean, the Omnivorous Flytrap gets to kind of do it. It's a good deck. I went and checked to see if this was like a precon or something, just because it had the feel of a deck that was good and was put together well and to teach people how to play, but it didn't necessarily have the super wow feature that you have in the decks that are really good. So let's go ahead and just get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? And in this deck, I'm just keeping my eyes looking at this thing. I got to say, it's like Urabrask Forge is always super good, but it's a deck unto itself. You just put it out, let it do its thing. It just grinds people down. People can handle Urabrask's Forge nowadays. It's not as big as it used to be. Wildfire Wickerfolk is great just because he's a hasty 3/2 for 2, which is so good. And he gets stronger and he has trample once you hit Delirium. So he has the ability to go to a decent level there. Chainsaw. I'm going to give it to Chainsaw. I think Chainsaw was probably the best card in the deck, probably the MVP, because when I actually did have Chainsaw going nuts, it was fantastic. Just because it does 3 points of damage when it comes out. Anytime anything dies, you put a Popo counter on it. Or not Popo, but a +1/+0. And then you put this onto one of your guys, like a hasty guy, and then especially something with trample, and you're dealing tons of damage. It only costs you 3 to equip up. This is probably the coup de grace that finishes off if you get it out. It's cheap. You get it out early. I'd say Chainsaw is probably the best card in this, in the MVP. Congratulations, Chainsaw. You're going to Disneyland. All right, so let's go on to, was this deck competitive? No, this is a 50%er. It's barely worth playing. You're not going to climb the ladder with this. You're just going to have some fun. It's a good way of checking out some of the ways that Gruul kind of does some stuff. But I've seen Gruul do better pump. There's a lot of good cards in here. It's just, when I was playing with it, I just couldn't get it to snap in. Most other decks did better. It's just, you think this is an aggro deck. It isn't aggro enough. That's the big problem. It's not aggro enough to be a good aggro deck. So usually by the time that this deck was starting to warm up, everybody else was kicking into high gear. Anything with removal, board wipe, that pretty much ended your game right there. There's that new white card that pretty much just makes every card that comes into play, one of your creatures, gives them life, and it taps them. So all of it just completely short circuits Urabrask's Forge, makes Urabrask's Forge into nothing but constant life gain for them. It's a horrible situation. So the new meta is just a weird place, and I'm not sure that this deck is in it to win it. Let's see. So that was it for competitiveness. Was this deck fun? Yeah. I mean, it was Gruul. It loved to just go out and attack. It had its wheel winning. It had its wheels spinning as it hit the graveyard, and that was great. I like the control that was in it. I like the fact that Enduring Courage gives all your guys haste and +2/+0. That works great with Urabrask's Forge. In a normal situation, this deck is fantastic. But it's just, against the other decks that I was playing against, which weren't out of the ordinary, this deck just wasn't able to be quick enough at the beginning or powerful enough at the end to be able to win more often than not. That was the problem. So it was a fun deck to play, but it didn't win enough to make it super fun. All right, was this deck interesting? Yes, it was. I mean, at first it was called Beastie Beatdown. I couldn't figure out exactly why. Then I saw that there was a card in it called Beastie Beatdown. I thought, all right, let's play that. Maybe that's got something cool going on. I figured we'd be playing with a lot of beasties, which are, what are they, just beasts? And you know what? No, there's not. There's just this one in here. So the whole deck is named after Beastie Beatdown, which is mostly about Delirium. And then we got Delirium. FOMO has Delirium. So this is really a Delirium deck. There's Delirium right there as well. And so it's really a delirious Beastie Beatdown. It's a delirious deck. And we're playing with, low-end creature removal. And that's really good in an aggro deck. So it is an interesting deck. The deck didn't win enough to make it worth being interesting. So let's add this together. Was it competitive? Not enough. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Yes. So I'm going to give this deck a B+. A B+. Just because it wasn't competitive enough to actually be worth playing in the long run. All right, so B+ deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of